All right, so this is a topic that I would say is especially important to me, and that is to know yourself and to pursue things that align with yourself. Now, what really inspired me to create this video was a short that I watched this morning, and I'll link it in the description, by a legendary fighter named Khabib Nurmagomedov. And I actually took the time to transcribe the short, so I'll read it to you guys. So it's about 30 seconds. So the interviewer, one second. So the interviewer asked Khabib, with the four of you, Umar, Islam, Kuman, your record is 91-1. How difficult is that? You're not the type to brag, but how would you put that into context of what you four have done, of what your father has built? How would you describe it? Khabib answers, I can describe this in one word: all about sacrifice. People talk about discipline, but sometimes discipline is not enough. For example, a week ago, one guy, he was from Mexico, he trained with us. We allowed him in. We don't just allow anyone in our team because we have enough sparring partners. You can look at anyone, champion, champion, champion. We have 30 killers inside one gym. We don't need to invite others. He approaches me and says, in holidays, I want to go to vacation in Mexico. And I told him, your family, Mexico, everyone has to wait if you want to become best in the world. You have to be inside the room. If you want to be the best, there is no family. If you want to spend time with your wife, kids, okay, be with them. You're going to become best family man. I'm not against family people. I just say, if you want to be the best in this business, you have to sacrifice. Sacrifice your time, your health, everything you have to sacrifice. Other way, I don't know. When people try to talk to me, give me some excuse of what they have to do, I just say, this guy, he can be just a regular fighter like thousands and thousands of others. Just regular fighter. He'll make money, he'll be good, but he'll never be champion. So that really resonated with me because I think that oftentimes in society we're pushed to certain paths because of what's expected of someone as they get older, as they go throughout life. But I think it's so important to understand who you are and pursue whatever's in alignment with that. In this example, it was to be a family man or to be a champion. I don't think there is a right answer. I don't think that, oh, if you decide to be a family man, you're wrong. Or if you decide to want to pursue greatness, you're wrong. It all depends on the individual. The individual needs to know who they are deep down and what's more important because it's all a trade off. When you take down one path, you forbid all others. So you need to know yourself and you need to know what path sounds more optimal for you while at the same time not pushing your path onto others. Not saying that, oh, if you didn't go down the same path that I did, then you're wrong for X, Y, and Z. It's so important to acknowledge other paths, hear people out that have gone down that route, but ultimately to go down your own path, to be the captain of your own ship, per se. So that was a highly influential quote for me because, again, it's so important to know what's best for you and to make that decision independent of what others are trying to sway you in. Another, like an example, right? So when I was making the decision to get out of the army, I had between two paths to take. And again, neither of them are wrong per se. It just depends on the individual and what the individual feels better suits him. I could have stayed in the army and stayed safe, have that stability, because the army is a very stable place to be in, the military in general. I could have stayed there for the safety, for the benefits, but remained in the same place forever. Or I could have gotten out, taken that huge risk, which it's risky. Like it's very turbulent and very unstable, transitioning to civilian life. But in exchange, give myself the opportunity for true greatness, for true expansion on the outside. And there's no right answer. I'm not saying one is better than the other. It just comes down to the individual. And the individual needs to understand what's best for him or her and take that decision regardless of what other people think or what other people may try to pressure you into. Because I experienced that a lot as I was getting out, was that outside pressure of, oh, what you're doing doesn't make any sense. You're already set in the military. But I decided that I'm the captain of my own ship and I'm going to do what I think is best for me, because nobody understands what's best for you other than yourself individually. One goal that sorry, I'm a little sick. Like one goal that I do have long term, like where I see myself, is having my own business, having my own startup, and hopefully that coming into fruition. I understand that there's a ton of sacrifice that needs to come with that and how difficult that is. Maybe not truly understand it, but I have an idea of what's to come, pretty much. I have a good friend of mine who's also really about that life, that lifestyle of startups and being the captain of your own ship per se. And I see a lot of the sacrifices that he does. And he accepted and decided way before me that that was the lifestyle for him and that was the lifestyle that best suited him. So again, it's just so important to have that identity and congruence, always acting in alignment with what you believe in your heart of hearts is best for you. Which brings me on to my next point and how important it is to find your people. If you want to be a family man, right, you should probably hang out with other family people who's, for them, that element is very important. If you want to become a champion, you should probably hang out with champions. It just depends. You have to surround yourself with the right people. You have to find your crowd. Like for me, what I've realized coming out of the military, I've realized that I highly, highly enjoy being around winners and surrounding myself with highly successful people. That's what I've found. I like being within that environment because I like to believe that I myself am a winner deep down. And that's my people. That's my crowd. But it's so important to just know your crowd, know who you are, and regardless of what I say, anyone says, to do what's in best alignment for yourself. Because there's no universal answer to a lot of these questions of like, oh, what's the perfect relationship look like? What's the perfect life look like? There's no what's the perfect career path look like? There's no universal answer to that. It just comes down to you knowing yourself and just understanding the trade-offs with each decision and ultimately just picking the one that best suits you, because what works for this person A, may not work for person B, and vice versa as well. So that's what I want to talk about today. I really resonated with what Khabib said. It was a great message. And what I really liked about it was how he didn't pressure anyone into any direction. He wasn't looking down on the other fighter. He wasn't looking down on family people. He was just saying that, hey, these are the trade-offs if you go down this path. So just choose wisely. And he acknowledges the differences in people. And respects that. I think having respect for the decisions of other people is extremely important. But that's all I wanted to talk about today. Again, I'll link that short and then another video that also pretty much inspired me to leave the service. And the reason it did, because it articulated my thoughts very well. It was by this other YouTube channel. It's called Psych Hacks, and it was called Be All That You Can Be. I'll link that too. I think that was a great video, so I'll link that video and then the original short that I described earlier. But that's all I got. As for the Data Structures and Algorithms 2 class, I just resubmitted it, so I should have that. I actually have a lot to say about that class, but that video will be coming up soon. So yeah, that's all I got for today. Talk soon.